Hi, in this short video I'm going to talk to you about how to map a logical Azure availability zone to the actual physical zone that the work takes place in. And that is needed in the context of Oracle database at Azure because you typically want to know where your database is going to be deployed physically in order to minimize the latency from any resources that connect to it. So if you have an application that connects to the database, you obviously want to minimize the latency between them, so you want to minimize the distance between them. In Azure, each Azure subscription has a different mapping of the virtual availability zone numbers that you see in the portal or when you use the command line interfaces to the physical availability zone. So if you have two subscriptions, then that mapping is different, and therefore if you have an application in subscription A, a database in subscription B, you will want to find out what the physical mapping is so that you can make sure that they're physically in the same place, that you're not accidentally choosing the same logical number for both, and that ends up being a different physical location. So this is documented in the Oracle database at Azure documentation at the link at the bottom of this slide. So let's go and have a look at that. So here we are in that documentation, and first of all we see that the documentation describes what I was just saying, two different subscriptions with a different logical to physical zone mapping. So if we then look at what we need the subscription ID, we need the name of the region, which we can find out in the Cloud Shell or under tooling if we run the AZ account command, and which I will do in a minute to look for my own region name that I want to use, and then I can use this command, which I will copy to work out or to run and to work out what the mapping is. So let's first of all put that command in a notepad. So I already had my subscription ID located, otherwise you'd have to find that out first, and I replace the subscription ID here, and then I go back to here and I get a copy of the location table, and I go to my Cloud Shell. I already had this open, so I can just run the command. Here we have the list. So from the list, I select the region that I want. I scroll back up and I find my region, which was UK South. So I need the name, which is the middle column. So it's UK South that I copy. And I then go and back in my notepad. There I replace the region name with the actual region name, and I copy that statement. Back here, and I paste the statement. And here I see the mapping. So I can see that in my particular subscription, there happens to be a mapping where the numbers are the same. So my logical zone 1 maps to physical zone 1, my logical zone 2 to physical zone 2, my logical zone 3 to physical zone 3. That happens to be the case in this subscription. If you do this in another subscription, in your subscription, you will find potentially other mappings, and that's what you need to know when you want to place resources from different subscriptions into the physically same availability zone.